Welcome to the replay. You guys, I know you know I love you guys on the replay. I'm a replay watcher too. But if you're joining me the second time around, then feel free to go ahead and tap those hearts. It's just as fun when you're watching the replay. And we're talking today about how to know when you're ready to become a real writer. It's going to be fantastic, so stick around. You can fast forward just a bit because I'm going to welcome some people in the room, but we'll get started in about a minute. Hello, Ladine Cruz. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Are we good? It's Monday. I'm going to be a bit distracted. I'm on a group text message and my sister-in-law and brother just had their baby. And so like every 30 seconds I get another ping with a with a picture of the baby, which is very cute and very fun, but I should have turned my notifications off. That's okay. We'll roll with it. So if I flick my eyes up on a regular basis, that's why I'm getting text messages of cute babies. Hello, welcome everyone. So I'm going to do my quick intro and y'all type in the chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know your name, what you're working on. You're at work. Nice. It's a good way to pass the time. I'm hoping that since it's like mid-December, work is starting to slow down for you. I'm Morgan Gist McDonald. I'm a writing coach, editor, and author. I help people who want to write a book but don't know where to start. And I walk with them chapter by chapter, from vague idea to first draft to finished manuscript. And we write a book that helps build your business and your platform. And I also work with a team of editors. So if you already have a first draft, bring it to us and we'll rework it and reshape it and clean it up and get it ready for publication. We're like the dream team of the self-publishing world. It's pretty fantastic. So how do you know when you are ready to become a real writer? You need some help with your business website. Well, feel free to ping me on Twitter or send me an email, morgan@paperravenbooks.com, and I might be able to get you a hookup. Depending on what you need, I have some colleagues who could help with that too. So yeah, absolutely. Just feel free to communicate with me in any way you want. So this is something that has been on my mind for a different reason. So essentially what we're talking about is, how do you know when you're ready to switch from just consuming content to start becoming a producer of content? And I am a course junkie. Okay, I love online courses. I've learned so much about business and personal development and professional development through online courses, stuff that you really can't get in the typical university atmosphere, but that now you can get online. And so I am that person who signs up for like a new course every month. And I love them and I love consuming them. I love watching the videos. I love doing the worksheets. I love participating in the Facebook groups. I find a lot of growth there. But at some point, I realized that I have to stop consuming so much content and concentrate much more on producing the content, right? And so it's always this like ebb and flow. We see the same thing. For instance, when I was in academia, I was in a PhD program, and one of the professors was talking to the group of graduate students who were emerging into their dissertation phase, and they were saying, you become, oh, thanks for inviting followers, Ladine. You become an academic, you get to be a real academic when you stop just learning from your professors and reading articles and reading books and start producing your own. That's when you become a real academic. And all of this applies to writing as well. When you're emerging as a new writer, it's so much easier and you feel like you're making progress when you are going to writing workshops and reading books about writing and, you know, talking to friends about writing. And so, but you're still in this consumption phase where you're absorbing a lot of content, and that's good. You have to go through that phase so that you can learn enough to start the writing process. But I'm going to challenge you. It's December. December is the time of the year when we often are consuming a lot of food and content and really processing and thinking about how the next year is going to go. So as we're approaching the end of December, looking forward into 2016, I'm going to challenge you to perhaps focus a little bit less on consuming content around writing. Your consumption may come in the form of podcasts, books, conversations, periscopes, although do keep subscribed to my Periscope because obviously this is very high quality consumption material. It could be any of those things. And to maybe allocate more time toward production, right? So less consumption or more intentional consumption of blogs, podcasts, media, whatever around writing, and more intentional production. So for you, it might look like different things. It might look like writing blog posts on a more regular basis. It's always a good place to start. It might look like intentionally writing a new chapter of your book every week. So even as you're researching your topic, you're also writing your topic. And so for the first quarter of 2016, really focusing and allocating certain blocks of time where you say, you know what, I'm not just going to consume, I'm going to produce. Because honestly, the whole concept of like becoming a writer doesn't happen until you step into the role of like producing content, to doing the writing and putting it out for the world. And you may be thinking like right now, like, but who would read it? Like, I'm not there yet. I'm not an expert. I'm not, I don't have enough wisdom or experience, and I'm not quite there yet. No one cares. But here's the truth. No one's going to care. No one's going to know what you have to offer until you put it out there, right? So you have to first take the step of faith, put it out there, and emerge as a writer. Like, you have to make that choice. There is no like certificate, there is no graduation day, there is no walking across the stage and now you are a writer. Literally, it only happens when you begin to shift from pure consumption of content to starting to produce your own blog posts, articles, books, with your own spin, your own take on whatever you have learned through the process. And people will only start paying attention to you as a writer once you start publishing it and putting it out there. And it could be really simple. It could be blog posts and newsletters at first, but I don't want you to stay there. This is a huge mistake that so many entrepreneurs make. They think, well, I'll just publish my blog every week and that should be enough to like get attention, right? But it's not. You've got to be out there and active and promoting what you're producing. At what age did you know you were meant to be a writer? It was something that emerged, and honestly, I was an editor first. Well, I don't know. When I was younger, I always felt like I was good and enjoyed creative writing. I'm very like fiction bent. Hello from Mexico. And as I went into older school, I got into the newspaper realm, which is nonfiction and reporting. And then as I went into academia, I was an academic writer, right? So it went through different phases. I always enjoyed the writing process, but I didn't even publish my first book until 6 months ago, So I considered myself to be someone who enjoyed writing and was pretty good at it, but I didn't even really call myself a writer until I was publishing blogs on a regular basis and then put my book out. So maybe 3 years ago, I'd been editing for a very long time, but calling myself a writer, yeah, it's a process, and you're not going to feel comfortable and confident calling yourself a writer until you start publishing it and putting it out into the world. So I know as an emerging writer, it's tough because you are in your room, your office, your home, your living room, your dining table with your own computer, and you're typing away, and you want to be a writer and you want to step out and emerge as that person. And yet, there's no one to validate you on that. Allegra, are you in the making of a book now? I am going to have a second book coming out, hopefully in 2016. I'm working on a different project for the first part of 2016, though, which I will get to tell you more about in January. So these big projects ebb and flow. And when I'm working on a book, like I focus pretty heavily on the book. So in my business, I usually try to have like one major project going at a time in addition to all the normal business stuff. But yeah, there's another one coming out in 2016. And you just kind of have to proclaim it. You just have to decide, okay, yes, it's coming out. I've decided. I'm going to tell you about it. And now I better own up to it, right? I better put it out. But so I would encourage you today to move from just consuming content to starting to produce your own content. And through that process, you will emerge as the writer that you really want to be. So that's my message for you guys today. Everyone who is joining in, we are wrapping up. I've actually got a phone call to hop onto, so I can't hang out for a real long time. But Replays and transcripts are available at paperravenbooks.com/periscope. paperravenbooks.com/periscope. You can always catch replays and transcripts over there. So thank y'all for hanging out, and I hope that as we're going through this end of 2015 that you're looking forward to new ways that you can write more and put it out there for the world, because that's how you're going to emerge as a writer. So sending you lots of writing energy and positivity, and hope it goes well for you, and I will see you guys